Hey everyone! Surprise video. I don't usually go live Friday mornings, but it is raining unexpectedly. And I was like, you know what? Let's just get cozy. I'm in bed right now. I was gonna run to Walmart, but I realized I only need like one thing, and I really don't want to run out to Walmart on a rainy day for literally one thing. And so yesterday I was scrolling through my videos and I was like, you know what? I don't think I've ever done a video on realizing I was a lesbian and kind of the whole story of how I was outed, basically, and all of that kind of stuff. So if you're new here, hey, my name is Teresa. I do videos on whatever I want because I don't like putting myself in a box. And yeah, so it is Pride Month. And in honor of Pride Month, I thought I would share my story with all of you. I could have sworn I've done a video like this before, but I guess not. And yeah, let's just get into this. So, yeah, I've known who I was since I was 7 years old. Now, for those who don't know, I had a rare condition when I was a kid called precocious puberty. And I was diagnosed with that when I was in first grade. So, about 6, 7. And so what this means is my body was physically growing too fast. And so because of that, if we did not treat it, then I would have gone into puberty way too early in life. And obviously that would have not been good. So I got to experience the wonderful joys of hormones way too early on in life. And so I honestly think that is how I kind of got to figure out my sexuality so early on. I honestly don't know if I didn't have the condition, if I would have figured it out at the same time or not. But yeah. So I knew when I was 7, I won't lie here, I watched High School Musical and of course, saw Vanessa Hudgens, and I was like, "Wow, a girl who's really, really hot that can sing and act and basically looks like an angel. Okay, cool." And so, yeah, physical attraction, I knew right away. And so it was what it was, and my siblings ended up, like, bullying me a bit for it. They would just randomly shout out, like, in a middle of an argument or a fight, "Teresa likes girls," and my parents would just say, "Well, she's younger than you," and I don't know what on earth that's supposed to justify or whatever, but it got them to shut up, so I guess whatever. And so, yeah, I always got embarrassed when they would blurt it out because we weren't raised super religious, but we did go to a private elementary school and we were very heavily involved in church stuff. So in elementary school around this time, I don't know if anybody else did this, friend group, but we would go around and ask, "What is your biggest secret?" And I always said my biggest secret was I liked girls. And so I have to give mad props to these kids because they never told anybody, they didn't care. And it's not like I said, we went to a Catholic elementary school. So it's not like anything deep like that was being brought, to our attention or whatever. So they're like, okay, cool. Like it is what it is. Um so yeah, like literally friends didn't care and yeah. So fast forward to middle school and this is when it really went like downhill from here. So middle school happened and I still knew that I liked girls. Nothing has changed. And at this time, in life, this is definitely when girls specifically start talking about boys. This is when boyfriends become a thing. I don't know if anybody else went through the whole, like, 6th grade boyfriend crap, but that was, like, a huge thing in the 6th grade, and I absolutely hated it. Um, it was just a joke and a half, the 6th grade boyfriend stuff. But yeah, 7th grade came along and a rumor had started that I liked girls. I don't know how this came about or whatever. I really don't care, you know. And so I was standing in the lunch line with my friends, and another friend had came up and said, "There's a rumor going around about Teresa." And of course, my friends are like, "What is it?" And I was like, "Yeah, what is it?" So my one friend like covered my ears and I heard everything. And yeah, I was like, "Okay." And I asked like, "Does it say like who?" I was like, "What else does it say? Does it just say that I like girls or does it mention who?" And she was like, "Rumor doesn't say." And so I was like, "Okay." And then stupidly, I my friends had like backed away from me, as I feel like straight people tend to do around lesbians sometimes. And I put my elbows like on their shoulders and said, "I am 100% straight." And so I like went home that day and it really, really bothered me that this rumor was going around because I was like, it's a true rumor. If it wasn't true, I wouldn't care. Sorry, somebody's being really loud out there. I wouldn't care if it was obviously a false rumor, but I was like, I went home and it just really, really bothered me. So I don't know exactly when, if it was a couple days or whatever, but I ended up getting Dairy Queen and coming home, and I was on Facebook and I made a Facebook video and I basically came out to the world. Now, at this point, the year is 2011. And let me tell you, 2011 was not the time to be coming out on the internet, especially not on Facebook. So I came out basically saying that the rumors are true and that basically everybody can just mind their own business and whatever. So yeah, the next day I will never forget what happened. So I went into school that day, and in middle school, our middle school is kind of weird in the way that you have to like wait outside basically until like 8 o'clock when the bell rings. If it's cold enough, you can go into like the entrance area, and then bell rings, you all disperse into your homerooms. And so it was early in the morning and I walked into the entrance area because it was in the fall, and my friend really nicely said hi to me, which isn't abnormal, but it was just like, I don't know, like it was just a little out of character for her, to say the least. And there was only a few people there. Like there was probably maybe 5 of us in total there at that point, and everybody just stared at me. And yeah, and then I went throughout my day and I remember getting to my English class, and I was talking to my friend from elementary school, one of my guy friends, and I was kind of talking about the situation to him. And a girl that I for some reason never really liked in middle school for no reason said something really, really smart to me. Excuse me. And just basically said, people are going to talk if people want to talk. And I've always kept that in my mind because this is so true when you're living in such a small town. I live in a very small, rural, conservative town. And especially back in 2011, like, who knows how closed-minded this town really truly was. So that's kind of how I figured out I was a lesbian. Thank you, High School Musical, for my gay awakening and for realizing my love of musicals as well. Thank you for the people who started the rumor so I could live my true lesbian life. And yeah, as I got older, I definitely realized the different kinds of attraction. A lot of people ask me, like, you know, I mean, I think the common thing is, how can you tell if you've never been with a man? But it's like, I don't need to be with a man to know that I don't, to know that I like women. Like, I can look at a man and be like, yeah, he looks good, like whatever, but it doesn't mean I'm physically attracted to him. It doesn't mean I'm emotionally attracted to him, intellectually attracted, you know, sexually attracted, whatever. Like, no, like I am very, very much all of those attractions towards women, without a question of a doubt. I don't feel like I even have to prove to people like that I have a girlfriend or whatever to basically like be a lesbian or whatever. I did say not that long ago when I was using Facebook that I wouldn't share my relationship on Facebook or publicly because I feel like a lot of people that I know personally would only be interested in my relationship simply because I am the only person in their life that they know that is a lesbian, and therefore that's what's intriguing them to my relationship. So, yeah, like, I don't know. So, yeah, that's kind of how I realized it. Something that I a piece of advice that I would share with the rest of you that I got before coming out to my parents, um, which I did before my birthday that year, right before I turned well, no, I think I turned 14 or 13, literally the night before I turned either 14 or 13, I came out to my parents. And the piece of advice that I wanna give to you guys is sometimes you're not going to have somebody that automatically accepts you right away, that showers you with love, like we tend to see in a lot of media posts. And on the other side, you're maybe not going to experience somebody who's to reject you right away or, you know, kick you out of the house right away or do anything that extreme to you right away. So my piece of advice, if you come out, is to know that sometimes people just need time to process it. When I came out to my dad, he very much was like, okay, whatever. Like, it went life went on as usual. When I came out to my mom, it was a much slower, um, process with her. Like, every time she entered the room, there was just a huge shift in energy and whatever. And being I will say this, for me, being in theater, it's really taught me how to, like, read a room, and I'm not somebody super into, like, energy and that sort of thing, but, like, I can definitely tell when things are off and whatever, and so yeah, eventually she got over it. Her response to my text message was, "God made you the way that you are." And so, yeah, that's my advice. But please, 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 you guys do not allow anybody to force you out of the closet by any means. Do it on your own time, on your own terms. Um, it's not about anybody else, like, it's about you, it's your journey, and, you know, you can tell people when you're comfortable, and it's not for anybody else to say or share, honestly. It's your story and your story to tell to people. So, just know that, Um, and I will say when the rumors started going around and stuff, for me, honestly, there was like a really strong feeling already at that point of like, okay, like I need to start telling people, and so it did kinda help with that, I won't lie on that one. Um, it did kinda help force me to be like, "Hey, like, start telling people," because I was at that point looking up coming out videos on YouTube and advice for coming out at that point, and so, yeah. I will say too at that point, in 2011, honestly, I got really lucky, especially for, living where I live. Um, a lot of my peers did not care. They really didn't. I mean, if people didn't agree with me, people didn't really talk to me. They like distanced themselves from me, whatever. Like, yeah. The big thing that really kind of happened after that was I felt like a lot of adults were pushing me back into the closet, and that was because of safety. And I'm putting quotes around that because they knew the world wasn't kind back then, and they knew obviously the more political realms of where we were at, you know, for our area of the world and stuff like that. So, yeah, the adults honestly in my life struggled with it, minus my parents. Other adults in my life struggled with it more than, my peers did. I remember getting a phone call from actually like my youth minister from church and saying, like, "I'm so happy you're so open about this stuff, but, I think you should take down the video and blah, 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 blah." And it's like, okay, like I see their concern with it, but it's I don't know. The world was just so different in 2011 when I came out. So, yeah, that's kind of how I knew. It's really hard to explain to people, you know, that I always knew. So, I know it's hard for people when we hear stories of, like, trans kids and stuff and other gay people saying, like, "Oh, they always knew," because it's a hard thing to explain to people, and for me, like I said, my journey was completely different because I did have a rare condition as a kid, that made me physically grow too fast, and yeah, like hormones came with that, and I don't know if that contributed at all to figuring out who I was so early on in life, but yeah. I also totally forgot to mention that when the rumors started and once I posted the Facebook video of coming out, my best friend from elementary school, shout out to her. I don't know if you still watch any of my videos or whatever. So Emily, if you're watching this, thank you for this. I don't ever forget this. She called me and she asked me, "Teresa, what on earth is going on?" And I told her everything. And she just basically said, "Teresa, if people don't accept you for who you are, then forget them. Like they don't belong in your life." And so that was really important to me because she did end up, going on to go to a Catholic university. So I don't know how deep in the Catholic faith she ended up getting. So yeah. So I really do think the people in elementary school who just like accepted me for who I was and who continue to accept me throughout life because I know a lot of their families did their best and root them in like the deep Catholic faith and so yeah, that's kind of the whole story, you guys. There's not much to it. I need to drink some water. I've been talking a lot here. And so yeah. Um yeah, that's kind of it. And honestly, like the only bullying that I ever got from it was really my siblings, but I got more bullying from them for being fat than I did for being a lesbian. So it is what it is. So yeah, you guys might get a bonus video this weekend. I don't know. There's some stuff going on weight wise that I need to talk to my doctor first before I share publicly with you guys, what's going on. Nothing too big, but, yeah, that's it, you guys. I hope, this video finds somebody who needs it, who knows they are not alone. Um, if you've been outed, just know, like, you're not alone, and, yeah, I'm just giving all of my love to our community during this month of celebration and getting to celebrate how far we've come as a community. And we still have some work to do as well. And I hope you guys all have an amazing day. I hope it stops raining at some point right now, but it's kind of like comforting. Um, and yeah, it wasn't supposed to rain till this afternoon, but literally nothing was showing up on the radar, but I'll take it. So, yeah, I just hope you guys all have a really, really good day. I can't believe Pride Month is going to be ending like soon. So, yeah, I may or may not see you guys tomorrow. It really depends if I end up having a conversation with my doctor today or not. So, yeah, if not, I will see you guys next week. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I post every single weekend, and I'll see you all later. Bye.